Crafting all night long with Tammy. Spooky projects feel so jammy. Fake bake diaries, our delight. Halloween, we own the night.
Greetings, fine subjects. My name is Tammy, and welcome to the Fake Bake Diaries. Today, I'm honored to be hosting Queen Lilith in her crowned splendor. Welcome to her court, where royalty, mystery, and sweetness intertwine. Let's begin our festivities outside by painting the skull of our dearly departed Queen Lilith.
Crafting with a twist, Fake Bake Diary.
My skull is all dry. I like the lines that the skull has around its head. So I'm going to enhance those and use this Extreme Sheen metal paint. It's in 24 karat gold to paint inside of all these lines.
In a haunted house we gather round, ghostly whisper, spooky sound. Craft room filled with tricks and treats, fake bake sweet, no bitter beats. Crafting in a haunted house, witches laughing, ghouls aroused. Pumpkin pies and ghostly cake, Halloween fun for goodness sake.
I'm going to let this dry, and off screen I'm going to put a second coat over top of the gold paint. I've put a second coat of gold paint, and I also started to put the glitter on. For his eyes and nose, I made my own mixture of glitter. And it's a combination of extra fine glitter from Michaels. This color is light pink. And then I have a little bit of chunky glitter from Michaels. This is blush rose. And I've also thrown in some medium chunky peach pink iridescent by Hemway. And I get that from Amazon. For the teeth, I just wanted them to glitter with this pink showing through. I didn't want to add on any extra color. So for that, I'm using diamond dust. Diamond dust is crushed glass, and it makes the most spectacular sparkle. To glue everything on, I'm using glossy Mod Podge, and I'm also going to use the glossy Mod Podge to put on a second layer of glitter for the eyes. I also use it to put on the diamond dust on the teeth.
In a small town down the highway, where the fields are all aglow, folks gather around for fun times, watching autumn leaves blow. October brings the challenge, where neighbors go all out to show off creepy decor and fill the town with shouts. The Smiths hung rubber cobwebs, they got ghosts upon their trees. The Johnsons carved out pumpkins with scary vampire teeth. The Millers built a graveyard with zombies rising high, while Mrs. Lee's old scarecrow winks with a glowing eye. It's the Haunted Yard Showdown every October night, with witches and with goblins giving us a fright.
The teeth are finished. The nose is finished. I have a second coat on this eye, and off screen I'll put a second coat on the other eye. I put my 2 layers of glitter on the eyes. I then took this gloss varnish and put one thin coat on over the eyes and the nose and a tiny bit over the mouth, and that helps to seal in the glitter and the diamond dust. It also gives me a solid base so that I can glue the eyes on. I got these beads at Dollar Tree, and they'll be perfect for the eyes. I'm just going to take some weights to hold this steady.
With a fog machine that roars, with Dracula on the chimney and bats on all the doors.
These little bat bowls I got at Dollar Tree, and they fit perfectly into the skeleton hands. I also got those at Dollar Tree. I'm going to put some black glitter on. I have 2 kinds. I have this one here that I really like. It's perfect for Halloween. It's from Michaels, a nice black. So this one's Creatology. And then I also have this one from Michaels, which is the extra fine glitter from the Recollections collection. And I'm using my quick dry tacky glue. When putting on glitter, always put your largest size glitter on first, and then to fill in all the gaps, put on your smallest glitter.
It's that time of year, cold orange is here, shelf stock full of fright, decor in orange light. Crafters hustle and race, pumpkin spice embrace, witch hats and candy corn, spooky things adorned. Cold orange, let's go, haunted dreams on show, goblins in the aisles making spooky smiles. Ghosts and ghouls we make, props and crafts we bake, skeletons and...
I'm going to let these dry. Off camera, I will flip them over and do the other sides. Here's my Bose foam clay, and I found these amazing crown molds off either Amazon or Temu. I don't use anything to prep my molds, I just put the clay in.
Styrofoam and clay in hand, crafting all night, it's grand. Witches, bats, and a cat so black. Paint and glitter piled and stacked. On TV, the fake bake show. Watch the spooky crafts glow.
I'm now going to pop this in the freezer for 15 minutes. The freezer makes it really easy to pop it out. These have been in the freezer for 15 minutes. I just took a pan out so I could move it around the room easily as it dries. And now I'm just going to pop them out.
Under eerie light, whispers from the walls in this haunted hall. Spooky masks and ghostly faces, cobwebs taking up the places. Modeling clay, turning gray, crafting fun won't go away. Black cat sneaks by warlock spells, hear the crafting stories it tells. Glitter flying in the air, haunted crafts everywhere. Crafting in the night, under eerie light, whispers from the walls.
I'm going to leave these dry for about 24 to 36 hours. I want them dry enough, but still nice and pliable to put on top of the skull. My crowns are all dry. I'm going to take the Deco Art Extreme Sheen metallic paint in the 24 karat gold. It has a really nice shine to it. And this paintbrush here with the tip so that I can get into all the little crooks and crannies.
Lock me in the craft room just for a day. Fake bake diaries gonna take me away.
The first coat is finished. I have to put a second coat on the gold, and I do have to turn them over and do the backs of them. So when that's all finished, I'll be back. I have finished painting the crowns. Now I'm ready to decorate. The first thing I did was take my crowns and wrap them very carefully around the top of the skulls, and then I just bend it and make a little bit of a break so I know where I want to cut. I don't just cut straight up when there's a pattern. I cut just around the pattern so that I can fit the pattern together when it's on the skull's head. I'm going to cut around here, take that piece off, and I attach them together based on the pattern. Short, tall, short, tall, short, tall. I'm not looking for perfection, but I can cut out just these little pieces here, glue them together, and you'll never notice.
In a haunted house so dark, ghosts and goblins bark. Styrofoam.
I'm using my Gorilla Super Glue.
Crafting all night, it's grand.
While that's drying, I can start to decorate. It's easier to decorate it when it's flat than if you already have put it on its head. I found these little spiders on Temu, and they come in different colors. So there's a light pink, and this is a light purple. I'm going to have those as part of the jewels. I also have this hot pink. These are beads with no holes in them. I can add those in between. I have all of these tiny rhinestones as well, and they shine in a black. Every second tall piece, I'm going to put a spider on, and this tray isn't going to be big enough now that I've glued this together. So I'll take this off the tray.
I swore no more glue, no more strings. I said I'm done with tiny things. Said no more buttons, no more beads. But then there's glitter in the breeze. Look at Tammy on the screen. Fake baked dreams, how they gleam. Silly me, I had to laugh. Crafting is my better half. Can't Can't stop crafting, no way. Every time I swear I stray. Crafty heart leads me to play. Crafting every single day. Scissors, paper in my hands. Swear it's out, but here I am. Ribbons calling, take a strand. Crafting dreams so grand. Can't stop crafting, no way.
This glitter is from Hemways, fluorescent pink. I purchased it off Amazon.
Crafting every single day.
This is a black glitter from Michaels. It's called Holographic Black.
Just one more step, one more piece. Creativity unleashed. In the night, in the day, crafting always finds its way.
Once the glitter was dried, I just took a very light brush and I brushed off a lot of that excess black glitter that I put on. For the black glitter, when I applied the Mod Podge, I lightly went over just some of the raised bits all the way across. I didn't want this to be all black. I'm going to do the same thing with the diamond dust, which is crushed glass, and I'm just going to lightly touch on raised portions of it, then sprinkle with the diamond dust. I'm going to let this dry. Now here's today's crafting question. When you are working on a project that needs to be sealed, which sealer is your favorite? Write your answers in the comments below and let's share our crafting wisdom. As a stand for my skull, I found 2 of these amazing candle holders at a garage sale. I'm going to take it outside and spray it in black. I also have 2 skeleton hands from the Dollar Tree, and I'll paint those in the same color of pink that I painted the skull. Now I want to attach my skull hands onto the vase. Because the vase I have is metal, it's not easy to cut through, so I've had to come up with another way. I have a nice thick piece of high density foam. I want to be able to slide the hands inside and glue them very solidly into the styrofoam. And I'd like it to go about this far into the hand and glue all of this into the styrofoam. I know I want it to go this far, and then I drew my line to cut the styrofoam a little bit further on because I need room to be able to carve it in a moment. And I did the same thing on this side as well.
Nobody can stop us. We got thread and glue.
To make the hole, I'm going to use my foam wire cutter.
Locked away together in our little space. Creativity sparks, a smile on your face. Diaries, our secret go-to. Inspired every day with crafts we pursue. Weaving through the minutes, time for us to steal. Crafting all our dreams into something real.
This one here, the hole is good and solid on it. This one, I made it a little bit too big. So when I glue it, I'm going to cut off a couple of pieces of styrofoam and shove them in with the glue as well. To glue this in, I'm using Gorilla Original Glue.
Diaries, our secret go-to. Inspired every day with crafts we pursue.
These are all packed in nice and tight, and I'm going to let them sit overnight to dry. My skull hands are dry and they're nice and solid. What I'd like to do is take these hands and face them upward. I placed a little mark here and a little mark there where they could go.
In the craft room, light so bright, glitter flies and glue in sight. Fake bakes looking so pristine, till I drop them with a scream. Frosting falls right off the...
These purple lines are for my first rough cut. Now that I'm getting closer in, it's hard to do that with an X-Acto knife, so I'm going to use my hot knife.
Life behind the baker's screen. Oh, the fake bloopers, laugh them all away, even when it's...
Now I can't make these too thin or else they won't hold the hands up, but I'm still going to shape them more so they look a little bit more natural.
pipe a perfect swirl, ended up a lumpy whirl. Buttercream is not behaving. Here's a shout out to my cravings. Sugar sprinkles on the floor. Stepped in paint, can't take no more. Dough explosion sets the scene. Looks like frosting's gone.
Off camera, I'm going to take these outside with a 100 grit sanding sponge and create a flat area here that can be glued onto the candlestick. I gave them a very light sanding. Now, to give them more stability when I put this on, they're not going to stay just because I glued them on. So I have this craft wire. I don't know what gauge it is. And supporting the hands by wrapping the craft wire around the candlestick where I plan to decorate anyway.
Glue and glitter on my hands, crafting shoes and rubber bands. Late nights all for this, dreaming big, can't miss. Paint and paper everywhere, final touches here and there. Heart in every piece I make, it's my chance that I take. Ready for the show, oh, oh, oh. Crafts lined up in a row, oh, oh, oh. Got my heart on display, can't wait for the day. Friends and family cheer me on, crafting till the break of dawn. Every sparkle, every bead, giving the folks what they need. Ready for the show, oh, oh, oh. Crafts lined up in a row, oh, oh, oh. Got my heart on display, can't wait for the day. Nervous hands but a smile, been preparing for a while. Gonna shine in my own way, craft show Saturday.
I realized the best way to provide support for the hands was to wrap it around here and then wire it up. Now I'm going to take my original Gorilla Glue and glue these on.
Ready for the show, oh, oh, oh. Crafts lined up in a row, oh, oh, oh. Got my heart on display, can't wait for the day. Ready for the show.
I'm going to leave this one side to dry because it'll be easier to let one side to dry before I move on to the other side. I've tried to put weight on the hand to keep the hand in place because it is actually anchored right now by the wire, and that's working really well.
Crafting till the break of dawn. Every sparkle.
Both hands are glued on. And if you notice, there's still gaps. Even though this is fairly solid right now, I'd like to give it all of the structural strength that I can. I picked up this Gorilla epoxy and I'm going to fill in the gaps. The epoxy is two parts that you mix together. There's a little stir stick in here that you pull out, and you can use the top of the container to mix. It needs to be disposable and with a plastic stir stick. And down here is a plunger. So you push the plunger until they distribute evenly. And we mix for about 20 seconds. Now you have to use this stuff fairly quickly. You have to use it within 5 minutes, and the faster you get it in, the better it bonds.
Vaping line just to get inside. Clearance days, craft dreams come alive. Eyes on the glitters and the glue. Need more supplies for what we do. Fake baked diaries bursting bright, making things till late at night. Stickers, ribbons, paints, and clay. Shopping spree on clearance day. Oh, oh, can't resist the call. Oh, 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 crafting's worth it all. Cracks will overflow. Need more supply.
I'm going to give this about 30 minutes to set, and then I'll come back and fill up the rest of the gap. The epoxy is dry. It's filled in all of my gaps for me, and I feel like this is really nice and secure. Now I'm just going to paint the styrofoam with black acrylic paint.
You would. Who knew shopping felt this good?
I'm going to set this aside to dry. I also added this piece of styrofoam up at the top, and that's to be able to attach the skull onto the top. The black isn't meant to look pretty, it's just meant to help disguise what's going on underneath when this is all decorated. Before I begin decorating, I'm going to attach the skull to the top styrofoam piece. So in this particular skull, it actually has a hole. So I have a skewer in the hole. I've tried a couple of places, and I'm going to put the skull near the front and poke it in on a bit of an angle facing the front. If I just put this skull on like this, the head spins around. So I'm going to add a little bit of crazy glue to the top, which is going to be inside the skull. And then for inside the styrofoam, I'm going to use my original Gorilla Glue because it won't melt the styrofoam.
Crafted dreams waiting there. Glitter, magic, fabric, lace. Craft store, heaven's special place.
To decorate the entire piece, I'm going to use this material. I bought it from Temu, but you can find any type of gauze-like material at the dollar store. This one isn't gauze, it's more polyester. I'm going to fold it 2 or 3 times so it's thick enough that you see less through it. So that's doubled. And now there's 4 layers. The part that's folded, I'll put up at the top.
In the night so dark and deep, where the shadows love to creep, Lilith rises from her.
I'm making sure that I have a lot of material right up front. You can also use a fabric stiffener to keep this stiff.
Gleams, crystal ball shows eerie dreams, walking through the haunted scenes. She gleams where the ghost light streams. Lilith, Lilith, shining bright in the spooky Halloween night. Skeleton queen, a chilling sight, dancing in the pale moonlight. Bones that rattle like a tune underneath October moon. Every ghoul will listen soon. Lilith's reign will make them swoon. Through the misty graveyard's haze, Lilith casts her haunting gaze, glowing ribs in ghostly blaze, leading all in spectral praise. Lilith, Lilith, shining bright in the spooky Halloween night. Skeleton queen, a chilling sight, dancing in the pale moonlight. Lilith, Lilith, shining bright in the spooky Halloween night. Skeleton queen, a chilling sight, dancing in the pale moonlight.
I use Gorilla Super Glue just to glue the material on the top of the head and then the crown on top of that. On the wings of this bowl, there's a little bit of a bat outline for the wing. I will add a little bit of pink onto the bat bowl. And for my treats, I would like my lollipop standing up. So I'm going to take a little piece of styrofoam, paint it black, and stick these up in the middle so that they stand. I also had this little old key that I added onto the pink ribbon. This is a nice velvet pink ribbon, and I really like that one. And of course, the little spider brooch that I got off Temu. The leaves I got at Dollarama, foam rose at Dollarama, brooch at Temu, Temu, and I'm not sure where I got the ribbon. When I have all those details finished, I will be back.
Golden crown on her head gleams, crystal ball shows eerie dreams, walking through the haunted scenes.
While I was off camera this time, I did a few things, but I'm not quite finished yet. I took my glue gun and I glued in all of the leaves. I decided to paint the ends of the fingers, so like fingernails, in gold. It has one coat, needs another coat. I put some pink glitter on the bat, just so it stands out a little bit more. This is an extra fine glitter from Michaels, and it's called Light Pink. I also have a little piece of styrofoam that I painted black and put inside to make my lollipop stand up. I started painting these little pumpkins because I was going to put the little pumpkins in the skull's hand, and then realized I had just recently picked up this, which I thought would be so much fun. I'm going to glitter this in gold. This is extra fine and this one is chunky, and they are both the color Gold Ore from Michaels. The other piece that I did, which I think makes a really big difference, is I took my pink full cart chalk paint, it's in vintage Victorian, and around my black leaves, it just seemed very black. So I took my chalk paint and I touched the edges up, and I'm also going up the middle of the leaf and following veins, and it's giving it a little bit of contrast, which is really what it needed.
Eerie nights we search for crafts, Halloween's coming fast. Tammy's got the tricks and treats, making ghouls out of foam sheets. Fake big diaries on the screen, glitter which is quite the scene. Glow in the dark, apples too sweet, clay ghosts for me and you. Crafting all night long with Tammy, spooky projects feel so jammy. Fake diaries, our delight. Halloween, we own the night. Sparkling stripes on witches' hats, pumpkin pies and skeleton bats, creepy spiders made of wood. Tammy tips are just so good. Candy corn and plastic eyes, fake big diaries, no surprise. Bring the spooky to our home with craft ideas we'll never own.
I have this lacy bat that I bought from Temu. It looks like this when it comes. I took his feet and I glued them together. After that, I took my fast drying tacky glue, painted one side with the tacky glue, and then glittered it with this extra fine glitter from Michaels called Light Pink. A few hours later, when that was dry but not hardened yet, I flipped it over and did the same thing to the other side. And I took some fishing line because I didn't want it to stick or leave color. I poked it through one hole on this side and one hole on that side, pulled the wings together as far as I wanted, and I tied that. And I let it dry hanging like this. Now it's all stiffened and ready to decorate. My gold glitter has dried on here. I also have one coat of this Dura Clear gloss varnish. I like this one because it goes on very thin, dries quickly, and allows your glitter to sparkle through it. Anything that has glitter on it, I usually try to coat it before I handle it, and then my glitter's not falling off all over. So I did the same thing with the bat before I started handling that. Now I'm going to put a little bit of a gold swirl that swirls around and kind of comes up to the top. And I'm going to use my Mod Podge gloss to do that.
Arting, gluing, painting, sewing, crafting is the way I'm flowing. Scissors, snip, colors popping, I'm in my zone, no plan stopping. Unleashing my creativity, every stitch I set it free. Crafting treasures one by one, from the rising moon to morning sun. Just a glue gun, scissors and thread, making magic.
I'm going to let that dry. I still feel right now that it's a little too black, and I want to break that up a little bit. So I just adjusted my material here in the middle to give it a little bit more shape. I have a fan brush, and I'm going to use my Decor Extreme Sheen Metallic Paint in the Rose Quartz. Take it and very lightly go around some edges that I think might frame out the skull a little bit better.
In the dark of night, with her crown so bright, dancing through the grave. Lilith won't behave. Bones that gleam, so pink. In the shadows we sink. She moves with a grin. Let the fright begin.
While the paint is wet, I'm going to blow on some iridescent glitter. I don't know what kind it is because it's already in my container. These little glitter blowers are great if you have to do anything vertically like this, and they just give you a dusting.
By the light of the eerie moonlight, her laughter echoes near, spreading Halloween cheer. Lilith's here to play on this chilling day. Skeletons in line to her ghostly rhyme, waltzing by the light of the eerie moonlight. Her laughter echoes near, spreading Halloween cheer. Dancing through the mist, no one can resist. Pink queen of the bone, chilling to the tone. No one can resist. Pink queen of the bone, chilling to the tone.
Partway through, I changed over my glitter blower because the other style does clog easily. I thought I would use it because it already had the glitter that I wanted in it. That style just clogs too easily for me. I find this style works really, really well. I'm glad I did this. I like it so much better than the solid black. I'm going to let this dry now. Let me introduce you to Queen Lilith.